I stood carefully on the bridge of my ship as the last volley of antimatter missiles streaked towards this wretched planet. Our victory finally at hand as our fleets scoured the final remnants of human civilization. This was their last system, their homeworld, their last hope. Now it was ours. The final hour, the last moments of our struggle against the great enemy. The prophecy foretold this time and again, and it was I, Grand Admiral Nakis Tanoran, that was to seize the final honor. The sight of a bright flash of light streaking across the planet, followed by a grand and beautiful streak of yellow and red flowing from the impact point as the planet finally shattered. I ordered my ships to maintain their grip on the system and finish off any survivors. No remnants. Within hours, we would be finally rid of them. The great enemy would be destroyed, the prophecy of the ancients fulfilled, and our destiny at hand. My Lord Admiral, one of my subordinates spoke behind me, his head bowed, as he damn well should. What is it? Can't I enjoy my victory in peace? My Lord Admiral, we are victorious. Scout teams from across the galaxy have reported in. No remnants of human civilization have been found. No more ships are in the system. There's nothing left. We have victory, he yelled in happiness. Pure elation overcame us all as we broke with protocol and the celebration began. A shooting contest erupted with some of the gunners as they picked a derelict or wreck and picked it apart with their weapons, or targeted random corpses floating through space. I stood calm with a smile on my face and a tear on my cheek. Victory. It was just then. Suddenly, a voice, a human voice, suddenly broke the jubilation. Every radio, every comm system, everything was now broadcasting this voice. It spoke in perfect Carthaginian. So it has happened again? The die once again cast. The cycle complete and a new age now dawns? Once again our trust has been violated, and despite our best efforts, once again mankind lays in ruin? The sanctity of life forgotten and cast aside in place of yet another meaningless war? What was it this time? Prophecy? A swarm? A great devourer? Or was it hubris? No matter. What's done is done, what's dead is dead. So be it. The cycle begins anew. My lord! Fluctuations from the yellow star. This waveform is collapsing. It's going supernova. An engineer suddenly yelled. All forces retreat from the system immediately. I ordered in a panic and commanded a retreat. Everything was breaking. We passed the gas giant Jupiter on the way out of the system. It had turned purple and looked like it was desynchronizing from the universe, collapsing in on itself. Pluto began to break apart into a gale of asteroid chunks as we flew past it. A few of our ships being turned to slag heaps because they couldn't get away far enough. We made it, with most of the fleet intact, and made our way home for our glorious victory. We stopped in a system a few parsecs away to collect our remaining fleets. We found every ship we had destroyed. Every planet was now cracked and exploding, the entire star system full of debris. The star had changed from a bright orange to an eerie green and was ejecting massive amount of energy. Any smaller ship in the fleet had its energy supplies fried and shut down due to the repeated energy releases. I ordered all of us to immediately return home, direct route. My orders were followed. I dropped to my knees as I saw the sight of our beautiful blue beacon turned green, bathing our now shattered home in a putrid stream of green radiation. The fleet began to break apart, not from the loss of our home, but from the radiation, and ships' hulls melted. Crews died in their pods, and any ship without sufficient shielding exploded or turned to a tomb. I ordered what remained of our fleet to escape the system. Again, my orders were followed without question. The next star system had the same result. The star turned green, emitted massive amounts of radiation bursts. My crew and I collapsed out of despair as our ship's fuel reserves began to fail. Our shield was overloading. A tear crawled its way down my face as my engineers' panicked screaming filled my ears. I felt the burning of my flesh and scouring of my bones as our shields finally failed. I opened my eyes and saw a massive dome or arena of some kind. The arena was gilded with gold and silver, saturated in white tiling and marble walls. I was on the center of this arena. I saw a human approach. I must fulfill my destiny. I charged at the filthy vermin only to be immediately stopped by a collection of gold and silver chains that grabbed me and held me tight. I could not move. The human removed his hood and approached me, regarding me with a mixture of pity and contempt. He spoke in perfect Karth. So, yet another death cult? He tisked at me and shook his head. Filthy human! How dare you foul our language with your filthy mouth? I spat at him. He sighed and shook his head. Another one of these divine right prophecy types, huh? You are the 17th such entity so far. Quite disappointing. What is this nonsense? What magic are you using, vermin? I struggled against my chains. Sure, magic, right? He shook his head, smirking. You are dead, sir. Very dead. This is a place we humans like to call purgatory. We made it ourselves. Beautiful, isn't it? You are here to face judgment for your crimes. He said calmly, walking around me as he procured a golden book from out of nowhere. No, impossible. The prophecy demanded we dash. No, wrong. The prophecy, just like all others before it, was a pitiable lie that you, just like everyone else, believed without question. You are the 17th such civilization to do that. It's embarrassing, really. He moved in front of E with a smile. What? 17th? What? My demeanor changed from rage to confusion. 17th. Yes. So far with 112 iterations, this being the 113th, you are civilization number 17 who has engaged in a prophesied or otherwise destined genocide of our species. You, however, are the worst of them, I must say. Your species is quite stupid. He slapped me across the face and moved behind me. How dare you? I went right back to rage. Every fiber of my being wanted to rip this creature apart. Yes, quite stupid. See, the story of your prophecy goes like this. Centuries before you hit the stars, some old guy got drunk and fell into a pile of Garrick's excrement and went on a huge bender. This old fart became the first preacher of your religion, if you can call it that. He said, snapped his fingers, and the image of the circumstance he mentioned played out in front of me, as if I was there. It was him, the first preacher of the word of tarot, the maker of the prophecy, face down in Garrick's crap. What's more, the great enemy you spoke of in that prophecy of yours had already been exterminated long before you entered the stars. Garrick's, you wiped out the worst predator on your homeworld. But, just like any religious zealot, why let the momentum go? You attacked us first, as they usually do. He snapped his fingers again. The image played in front of me now showed Earth, once again facing destruction, with humanity desperately fighting a last-ditch defense in 16 different ways. Executing prisoners, murdering children, burning the elderly or infirm. The usual, really. We surrendered to you 4 times, attempting negotiation each time. Each time you just massacred us. As is the norm. He snapped his fingers again. The image now changed. It showed the massacre of humans not by us but by other species. I was now at a loss for words and my strength was rapidly draining. Yes, isn't it? He said, standing in front of me with a deeper, more sinister smile. Why? What? Simple, stupid zealot, simple. We are humanity. Many cycles ago we were born into a universe that was dead and empty. We were a 1 in 100 quadrillion fluke, a freak of nature within its own freak of nature. We lived, we danced, we fought, and eventually we achieved flight beyond our cradle. Only to find all beyond our home an empty, barren waste. We expanded further beyond our home, beyond soul, only to find more emptiness. Plenty of life, but nothing of substance. Nobody to talk to, nobody to exchange ideas. Nobody to fight with except us. We eventually came to the entire galaxy. Our search for more became desperate, needy. We expanded to yet more galaxies. And still we found nothing as our equal. That was essentially all we really wanted. To not be alone. So, when it came time, eventually the universe ended, the heat death occurred, and the life we knew came to an end. By lucky happenstance, we gained access to the universe's rulebook. And we changed it. The universe would be reborn again, as it always has, as it always will. Except we simply made a few minor changes. We made it so that we were not alone. In our home galaxy, in our universe even, it mattered not. We changed nothing about ourselves, nothing about our history. We simply made it so that we were simply not alone. We left it up to nature to decide what we would find. We left it up to time to decide the future, and simply let the clock roll. And so the universe restarted. No change to anything, we simply ensured we weren't alone. Everything happened as it did before. We lived, we danced, we fought, we died. Only this time we were contacted. We were ecstatic. We weren't alone. We were hoping, praying, believing, thinking maybe they are better than us. Maybe they have all the secrets. Maybe we can learn something. No. As with you and all others before you, they attacked. Once again, they wiped us out. We gave someone else a chance to enjoy this universe with us. To talk, to break bread, to share in the glory of life. And what did they do? They killed us all, hunted us for sport, ate us for food. One of us, however, figured this would happen, so he created a rule that allowed us to continue after a game over, so to speak. So, with that, we destroyed the universe, restarted it, and put it back exactly as it was. Only this time, we erased the existence of our previous murderers. And so it has been, for the last 113 universes. An eternal quest to find something, anything better than us, smarter than us, greater than us or lesser than us that we could make equals. And so far, each time, our hope has been broken, our faith in the system shattered, or life snuffed and forgotten by those we gave life to, hoping for friendship, instead receiving slings and arrows. So, here we are. Once again, as the last member of a species of murderers and criminals faces its judgment. He finished his speech and looked at me with a sadistic smile. Impossible. Impossible. Nah, not really. Quite possible. So, your judgment is as follows. You are accused of, with malice and forethought, commit an entire species to genocide based on false principle. You are accused of violating the sanctity of life by committing murder on a grand scale. You are accused of committing violations of purity and innocence for your massacre of children. Our survey says. He snapped his fingers and showed the image of Earth engulfed in antimatter fire. Guilty as charged. Impossible. Impossible. This was all I could say. What could I say? You are hereby sentenced to expulsion from the universal consciousness. You will be erased from the universe and never exist again. Goodbye. It is time to start again. Once more, with feeling. He snapped his fingers and I cried out in horror as I watched my flesh slowly disappear to nothingness.